that school being asked to resign because she opposes safe spaces.
At a forum put on by University President Rita Cheng this week, students raised concerns over incidents on campus they say promote hate speech and racism.
I'm not sure I have any support at all for safe space.
NAU's president responding, to succeed in the world, students should develop skills to better understand differences of opinion.
We need to provide you with the opportunity for discourse and debate and dialogue and academic inquiry. And I'm not sure that that is correlated with the notion of safe space as I've seen.
All right, joining us now from Boston, Marianne Marsh, and from Washington, Katie Pavlich. So obviously I side with the college president, but I'm still amazed at how chaotic this whole thing has become, Katie. Why is this happening?
Well, for a couple of reasons. First, I think that we should applaud President Cheng for rejecting these students and rejecting their nonsense and essentially saving them from themselves. They'll be far more prepared for the real world than they would have been if she had accepted their safe spaces and put them into different groups on campus so they only heard things that they wanted to listen to and that they agreed with. But this keeps happening because despite what President Cheng said about professors at that university saying we don't really have the support for a safe space around the country, it's the professors who are organizing this push for safe spaces. They're the ones who are teaching about microaggressions and condemning anyone they disagree with inside their
professors, as Jerry Lewis reminded us, but just real quickly define what a safe space is on Northern Arizona's campus. What would that be?
Essentially, a safe space is a place that you can go where only liberal ideas are espoused that you happen to agree with.
So, it's a liberals-only zone. It's like segregation.
Absolutely.
Two water fountains, liberals drink at this one, conservatives at the other. Now, Marianne, when you and I were at Harvard, and we were the smartest people at the Kennedy School by far, there weren't any safe spaces there. You know, everybody just walked around. You got a dopey little locker. You ate lunch with everybody, and none of this came up. So what has changed since 1845?
It was about that long ago. I think colleges have come to reflect our society, which has become increasingly divided and divisive. Everybody goes to their corners, and nobody can work anything out. And it's much like our politics. So I don't think it's a surprise. I do support the fact that President Cheng decided to reject safe spaces, and I thought her reason was very good, that it was better to try to deal with issues that you disagreed with rather than hide from them. That's what college is all about. But I do think where she may have fallen short is not showing enough leadership on a couple of controversial issues that happened on campus that she, I think, could have stood up and addressed more directly.
I didn't bring them up because I wasn't there and you weren't there, and I've seen far too many times where things have been distorted, and that if you disagree with somebody, that's hate speech, and if you criticize African Americans, you're racist, or anything like that. I mean, and that's the environment in which we live right now. Go ahead, Katie.
I think that Marianne is probably referring to one of the students complained about a man named Brother Jed, who goes around not just to NAU, but to campuses all over Arizona. I remember seeing him when I was in college at the University of Arizona. He doesn't just say anti-gay things. He says anti-straight people things. He says horrible things. But you know what? He serves as a good example of how you don't want to be, and because students are exposed to those ideas, they can look at that and say,
the schools
that's
don't
not something
bring
that
him
we want to
in.
be.
He's
No,
like,
he comes and shows up to campus.
He just shows up as like a speaker's corner thing in Hyde Park in London.
Right.
He just shows up. And if the
he's
school
not
doesn't like him, they should just, look, I'm a freedom of speech guy, but if I were the college president and Uncle Jed, I'd put him right back with the Clampetts. He'd be right out of there. Okay?
Sounds like a safe space, Bill. I don't think so.
No, I don't want any disruption. And if this guy's a nut and he's saying
outside class in the public square, he's just saying nonsense on the public square at a public university.
You want to do it? You can do it in Middletown.
It's a public university. Bill, they can say the same thing about you. They don't like what you say, you get kicked out.
Component. I'm not sympathizing with the snowflakes. I'm saying there's an appropriate way to handle it. Marianne gets the last word.
I think a couple things here. The president handled the DACA situation well by signing a letter and supporting it. So undocumented students at that college felt supported by this president. But I think the best thing to do is, whether it's a controversial speaker or not, is to use your intellect and information to refute that person. Use every opportunity you have to show kids how to handle these situations, and do it with some thought and some tact, so they can handle the world better.
But I don't want to crank given power to come on and disrupt anything. So that's my line. Ladies, thanks very much.